Ever wonder what it was like to walk the streets of ancient Rome? To rub shoulders with emperors and gladiators? Or barter for fresh bread in a bustling marketplace? Buckle up, history buffs, because today we're cracking open a time capsule unlike any other. One filled with the sights, sounds, and stories of everyday life in the Roman Empire. Forget the dusty textbooks and dry dates. We're diving deep into the real deal, from the togas of the wealthy elite to the sandals scuffling on cobblestones. We'll meet real people, like Claudia, a baker's daughter who dreams of becoming a doctor. Believe it or not, even education had an echo of Rome. We'll explore the bustling schools where young Romans like Marcus learned rhetoric and philosophy, skills that laid the foundation for modern education. Trade was lifeblood to the empire. We'll join merchants like Gaius as they navigate bustling ports, haggling over exotic spices and far-flung treasures. Was their business world so different from our own? You might be surprised. But Rome wasn't just about commerce and conquest. It was about families, about celebrating life's milestones, and even honoring their ancestors. We'll experience this firsthand through the eyes of the Ilias family, sharing their joys, sorrows, and even their beliefs about the afterlife. From the cradle to the grave, from the opulent villas of the rich to the cramped homes of the working class, this is your chance to experience a full spectrum of Roman life. We'll uncover the surprising connections between their world and ours, and you'll see how even today, the echoes of Rome continue to resonate across the ages. So, ditch the boring history lessons and get ready for an epic adventure. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we unlock the secrets of everyday life in ancient Rome. This is a journey you won't want to miss. Step inside a Roman world, not of emperors and palaces, but of bustling families and everyday life. Here, in this intimate space, a new chapter unfolds. A midwife, her role is respected and crucial as any doctor, cradles a tiny newborn, Marcus, son of Aulus, a vintner whose livelihood thrives on the season's bounty. His mother, Lucia, with a radiant smile, rests nearby. The picture of maternal love, though social class dictated many aspects of Roman life, the joy of a newborn child transcended these boundaries.
Memori mea primi. Sun peripetus mata caloris. Amplexus matris mea. Odor ebrius us maturis uvrum. Qua in air gravia pendibant. Dulce murmur vocum sicit familia congregata. Hoc palladium non erit. Sed mundus amor et tradition plenus.
Similar scenes played out across the Roman Empire, in workshops and bakeries just as much as in vineyards. A blacksmith's son, his tiny fists clenched tight, would arrive to the rhythmic clang of the hammer on the anvil. Across social spectrums, the arrival of a newborn marked a momentous occasion.
Pulsatio numerosa malioli patris mei, non modo ivabat. Sed assidua commerci. Recordatio quae mihi aliquando esset. Odor metali fervidi mixtus est fragrantii. Cucini matris mei. Perpetuus amoris et curae recordatio. Octavo die. Sicut Marcus. Simplex caramonia. Quae lustricus moritu ar. Mean familiam et vigilantes deorum oculos expit.
A ceremony known as the dies lustricus, held on the 8th or 9th day after birth, was a significant milestone for all Roman families, regardless of social class. It marked the official entry of the newborn into Roman society and placed them under the protection of the gods. Wealthier families might hold a grander feast, but the core purpose, acknowledging the child's place in the family and seeking divine favor, remained the same.
N. Lovi benedictio, perturba liberorum. Det ei sanitatem edi fortitudinem.
Eleganter, me. Edi felicitatis in negotio, parva figura batri, figura vitae.
These early rituals and charms reflected the hopes and aspirations parents held for their children. From the blacksmith hoping his son would inherit his skill, to the baker praying for bountiful harvests to feed his growing family, the arrival of a child was a time of both joy and anticipation. While the joy of a newborn transcended social classes, the realities of childhood care could differ significantly. In wealthier families like Aulis and Lucia's, mothers could often afford to dedicate more time to their children's upbringing. They might hire wet nurses to assist with breastfeeding and slaves to handle household chores, freeing up time for emotional bonding and early education. For poorer families, or those with limited resources, the situation was different. Slave mothers, often forced to work long hours, might have to wean their babies earlier and leave them in the care of older siblings or fellow slaves while they toiled. Educational opportunities for children in these circumstances were also limited. However, despite these disparities, the core values of nurturing and protecting one's child transcended social boundaries. Parents, regardless of their station, instilled in their children the importance of family, respect for the gods, and the values that underpinned Roman society. These tiny individuals, born into vastly different circumstances, would one day shape the future of Rome. From senators and generals to skilled artisans and farmers, their journeys were just beginning. As we delve deeper into Roman society, we'll explore the experiences of children, from all walks of life, the challenges they faced, and the opportunities that awaited them. As Marcus grew, the world around him expanded beyond the warmth of his family. Education, however, wasn't confined to formal schools, like those reserved for the wealthy. For most Roman children, knowledge was passed down through generations, within the family and the craft itself.
Formalis disciplini pars adolescenti me non fuit. Educationem meum ex ipsa terra ambulavi invinia mea. Pater mus primus et summus magister fuit. Mysteria vitis mihi insinuavit. Ut teneros vals ramos ad maturitatis apicum pingem vindemrant. Tardis processus patientia plenus. Premium viro.
Marcus' experience was common among Roman craftsmen's children. A baker's son would learn the secrets of kneading dough and mastering the wood-fired oven from his father. A blacksmith's daughter might observe, then eventually participate, in the intricate art of metalwork. This apprenticeship system ensured not only the continuation of essential skills, but also the preservation of family traditions.
Nulla cubilium erat. Pulviner vel vestibulum sed. Possuerin pistrino. Cauter clubani, modulus tundens massi. Fragrans odor panis recenter coctus. Hierat vices, soni, et adors ca infinium impleverant. Pater meus opus spectans. Non collinitatum tantum. Sed rationum vitae didaci.
This hands-on learning fostered a deep understanding and respect for the craft. It wasn't just about mastering a skill, but also about carrying on a legacy, a responsibility that young Marcus readily embraced. Education for Roman children, particularly boys from wealthy families, was a vital part of preparing them for their future roles as citizens and leaders. Schools, often set near the bustling forum or marketplace, focused on subjects that would mold well-rounded minds and capable leaders. The primary language of instruction was, of course, Latin. From a young age, boys learned to read, write, and speak Latin fluently. Grammar and rhetoric were cornerstones of the curriculum, essential for effective communication in law, politics, and public speaking. Logic, honed through debate and argumentation, sharpened their critical thinking skills.
Discipuli. Verba arma sunt. Iis sapienter utera. Ad persuadendum. Incitandum. Iniustum ad exponendum.
Music, though not as emphasized as other subjects, played a role in Roman education. Boys learned basic music theory and sometimes how to play instruments, like the lyre or the aulos, a type of double-reed instrument that produced a haunting melody. Formal scientific subjects like physics, chemistry, and biology weren't part of the standard Roman curriculum. However, some philosophical schools incorporated elements of these disciplines. For example, studying the works of Aristotle might involve discussions on the natural world, the movement of celestial bodies, or the basic building blocks of matter. Art education wasn't widespread, but apprenticeships offered talented youth the opportunity to learn skills like painting, sculpture, and mosaic making. These skills were in high demand for adorning temples and public spaces with intricate mosaics, creating lifelike sculptures for wealthy patrons, and decorating walls with vibrant frescoes that brought mythology and history to life. Philosophy, however, was a cornerstone of Roman higher education. Students delved into the works of Greek and Roman philosophers like Plato, Socrates, and Seneca, grappling with questions about ethics, politics, and the meaning of life. These discussions fostered critical thinking, challenged assumptions, and prepared young men for leadership roles. While there weren't formal schools of medicine or science, some apprenticeships provided opportunities to learn from physicians or natural philosophers. These young apprentices might assist with treating patients, preparing medicines, and even copying and studying scrolls filled with observations about the natural world, human anatomy, and herbal remedies. Not as prominent as philosophy or rhetoric, mathematics did find a place in Roman education. Students learned basic arithmetic, geometry, and sometimes even algebra. These skills were essential for surveying land, calculating finances, and understanding the physical world around them. Formal education in accounting and finance wasn't widespread either. However, some schools offered practical training in rudimentary bookkeeping techniques. Students might learn how to calculate profits and losses, record transactions on clay tablets, and understand the importance of financial responsibility. Beyond formal education, apprenticeships offered valuable practical training in various professions. Some young men might find themselves apprenticed to merchants, learning not just the intricacies of buying and selling goods, but also the importance of foreign languages and cultural awareness. Understanding different customs and ways of conducting business negotiations could be the key to a successful international trade deal. However, there weren't dedicated schools for sailing, but apprenticeships provided invaluable training for those interested in a life at sea. Young men like this would learn the intricacies of navigation by the stars and constellations, how to read weather patterns, and the essential skills for handling a ship and its crew. The Roman Empire relied heavily on maritime trade, and skilled sailors were in high demand. Knowledge of sailing and international trade routes could be just as valuable as a traditional academic education for some young men. Learning from the successes and failures of past businessmen was another way Roman education touched on practical aspects of commerce. Historical figures known for their business dealings might be studied and discussed, offering valuable insights into negotiation, market trends, and the ethical considerations of conducting business. Formal dramatic or opera schools weren't prevalent in Roman society. However, some schools incorporated elements of performance and public speaking into their curriculum. Students might learn dramatic techniques like voice projection, body language, and emotional delivery. These skills were not just for entertainment. They proved invaluable for future careers in law, politics, or public service, where persuasive oratory held immense power. While theatrical performances were popular in Rome, they weren't considered a serious pursuit for young men from wealthy families. However, some emperors, like Nero, harbored a passion for performing and even competed in public games, blurring the lines between entertainment and social status. The everyday writing material in Roman classrooms was the reusable wax tablet. Students used styluses, which were writing tools with one pointed end, for scratching letters onto wax tablets, and a flat or blunt end for smoothing the wax and erasing mistakes. This practical system allowed them to learn and practice without wasting expensive papyrus, which were used for storing and sharing knowledge. Formal education in Rome typically ended around teenage years for boys from wealthy families. However, the pursuit of knowledge continued for some. Wealthy young men might travel to renowned centers of learning in Greece or Alexandria to further their studies in philosophy, rhetoric, or even law. Love and life in the Roman Empire weren't confined to prearranged marriages. While social status played a role for some, everyday life offered vibrant opportunities for hearts to connect. Take, for example, the lively Lupercalia festival, a celebration of fertility and playful rituals. It was during this time, amidst the laughter and youthful energy, that young Marcus, a skilled vintner's son, found himself captivated.
Quitus virginum, risus perturbum concitatam resonans, oculum deprehended. Inter quos erat ilia, crine rubent decretus delicata rosa. Mi subridens, ver splendens ut sol, stupidentius.
Roman courtship wasn't about grand gestures from afar. It was a subtle dance played out in close quarters. Young men like Marcus might try to impress potential brides with displays of wit, knowledge of the festival's traditions, or even a playful challenge.
Hey Juvi, sicut vernalis calor, sapore rumpenture. Angustum tibi prebeam, pulchri femine?
Gratias tibi ago benignissimi domine. Illae uve quidem delecte santa. Sicuti honoris tuitam callide obvelantur. Sed dic, omnes ne vinariitam dulces vaniloqui sant. An justi?
For young women like Elia, societal expectations existed. But they also had agency in choosing their partners. Her family, though not of noble birth, held a respected position. Her father, a skilled baker, provided for his family by crafting the finest bread in the city. Sharp wit and a genuine connection mattered more than wealth or status.
Ne decipiaris lepore, Aelia. Offera tuva suaves, sed cor verum est.
Fortasse, mi amice. Suavitas non solum in ui esse. Sed etiam in comitato est.
For Marcus and Elia, love blossomed amidst the vibrant sights and sounds of the festival. Their connection wasn't dictated by social standing, but by a genuine spark, shared laughter, and mutual respect.
Solemnitas era, inergula siva pulsans, ex oramus factus, est pro nostro ornamento, Romanorum. Fontem florum flosculus, ornatum conveniramus, fabulas sub olivi umbra communicamus, et simul futuri somniamus. Cum familiae nostri, non summi dignitatis fusant, amor tamen swam, nobilitatem ten.
Marriage, in some cases, could be a formal legal contract for Roman citizens. However, for many, like Marcus and Elia, a simple ceremony with family blessings solidified their union.
Antimidas s, Elia?
Paululum, sed maxime excitatur ut simul vitam nostram incipiamus.
After a simple exchange of vows, the celebration would likely involve a shared meal with colleagues and family, featuring fresh bread, simple stews, and perhaps a jug of local wine. For Marcus and Valeria, their future would be filled with the familiar sin of making wine and baking bread, the rhythm of hard work, and the simple joys of building a life together. Love and marriage were cornerstones of Roman society. A well-matched union ensured not just personal happiness, but also the continuation of the family lineage and social standing. Today, we also celebrate another wedding of Julia, daughter of a prominent senator, to Tiberius, a rising star in the political arena. For upper-class families like Julia's, weddings were elaborate affairs. The ceremony itself was a relatively simple exchange of vows before a family altar, followed by a lavish banquet. Music filled the air, provided by hired musicians playing lutes and cymbals. Food and wine flowed freely as guests recounted stories, exchanged gossip, and offered well wishes to the newly married couple. For Julia and Tiberius, their future held the promise of political influence, grand estates, and perhaps even a prominent role in shaping the Roman Empire. Love and marriage, though celebrated differently, were woven into the fabric of Roman life, for both the wealthy and the working class. As we continue our exploration, we'll discover more about the roles of men and women in Roman society, the challenges they faced, and the ways in which they shaped the destiny of this vast empire. Our Roman adventure begins at the very foundation of society, the miracle of birth. Much like today, families celebrated the arrival of a newborn with immense joy. Children, depending on their social class, received an education that shaped their futures. Wealthier families hired tutors, while others sent their sons to schools focused on literacy, philosophy, and public speaking. Girls, meanwhile, learned practical skills like weaving and household management. As children transitioned into adulthood, courtship rituals began. Wealthy families arranged marriages for social and economic gain, while others allowed for some degree of choice. Marriage ceremonies were elaborate, symbolizing the union of families. After marriage, women typically focus on managing the household and raising children. Men ventured into the public sphere, pursuing careers in politics, business, or the military. Family life wasn't just about work and chores. Romans enjoyed delicious meals, featuring fresh produce, olive oil, and hearty bread. Wine, a staple beverage, was often enjoyed at social gatherings and celebrations. Leisure activities like attending chariot races, plays, and public baths provided entertainment and fostered a sense of community. A modern family gathered around a dinner table, laughing and sharing stories. The scene fades into an image of a modern school and a lawyer addressing a courtroom. History offers a fascinating mirror to our own lives. Want to uncover more captivating stories of Roman society and its enduring legacy? Press like button if you enjoyed this journey through Roman life. But wait, there's more. To explore the fascinating world of Roman work, entertainment, and politics, subscribe to our channel for the next exciting episode. The next chapter of Roman history awaits. Don't miss out on the adventure.